everyone, and welcome back to Trenette Talks. I'm Michelle, your host, and so much has been going on. And with this series, I'm trying to keep it lined up, basically, from the beginning to the end of me and my relationship. But so much is happening in between that I just have to rant to y'all, okay? So today is Tuesday, June the 3rd. Yesterday was Monday. So I'm trying to think when this happened. I want to say this happened Sunday. So on Sunday the 1st, I was at work and my ex decided to text me, and I already know he just wanted to start something with me. So he asked me, can he have our baby for the day? And I'm like, you never want him any other time. When I ask you to watch him, it's always no. So what makes today so special? And he was telling me he wanted to take him to Lake Charles. And I said, why? And you can tell like he rushed to make up a lie. I want to bring him to see T. Joyce and to see my papa and this and this and that. And I'm like, no. You're not bringing him all the way to Lake Charles. It's not going to happen. Because I know how he is. Like, first, you never wanted my child. You never wanted to watch him. You don't want to keep him overnight. You have every excuse in the book. And now, all of a sudden, you want him. So, I already know he only wanted to get Micah for that day, quote unquote, just so he can keep him from me. You're not doing that. No. I don't care how tired I am. I'm not leaving my child to you for you to try to legally kidnap him or that type of stuff. No. So I told him no. And he said, okay, I'm finna get the sheriff department to your mom's house. Actually, he asked where he was. I said my mom was watching him. And the whole time, my baby was not with my mama. So I said, my mom is watching him. And he was like, well, tell her to have him all packed up and ready to go. And I said, no. So he was like, okay, I'm sending the sheriffs to the house and they go give me my baby. Woo-de-woo-de-woo. And I said, okay, go ahead. So I called my mama. I told her what was going on. I said, Ma, he finna send the cops to the house to get Micah, even though Micah's not there. And she was like, well, tell them come on. Like, I'll be waiting for him. Yada, yada, yada. So he's still doing the most of my phone. So are you going to give me my baby? Are you going to do this and do that? And I'm like, well, hold on. It's the first. And you said you was giving me $100 on the first. So where my $100 at? Man, F them $100. You ain't letting me see my child. You ain't getting no effing money from me. I said, well, I knew that was coming anyway, but okay. So the cops ended up coming to the house. And they were basically telling my mom how they're so sick and tired of this man. Like, they said he literally calls them, the police, more than he calls his own mother. And they told me out of their mouth that he is unhinged. They said it makes no sense that he's acting like this because, first of all, there is no custody agreement in place. Like, we didn't go to court for custody. So they literally told him before they even came to my mama's house, they told him, if we get to this house and the mother does not want to release the child to you, then there's nothing we can do. But they told him that they were going to come and talk to my mom. So my mom is telling him everything. We have a temporary protective order in place. He's been harassing her. He's been harassing me. He's been stalking the house. They told the cops everything. And the cops did not know that we had a temporary protective order in place. So they were like, well, we've been trying to find a way to arrest him, and this might be the key. So they started calling me, and they were asking me, when was the last time he spoke to you? Like, do you have proof of it? Yada, yada, yada. So I sent them the proof. And they're like, okay, we want you to come write a statement for us, but we just sent this warrant up to the judge. And I'm like, dang, y'all work fast. And before all this even happened, because I was at work this whole time, mind you. I worked at 6:30 to 2:30. So I went to lunch at 10:30, and I called dispatch on the phone. And I said, hey, like, I'm literally tired of this dude, But the reason why I have not came to y'all is because he tells me that he basically has y'all in his back pocket. And so does he has this judge in his back pocket. And he was like, ma'am, I'm here to tell you that it's bullshit. He was like, I'm literally so tired of this dude. Like, nobody in Port Allen likes him. Like, we've been trying so many ways to get him arrested. And he even called my phone. Like, he called my phone about 2 weeks ago and told me that he got his family to convince you to not go through with the official protective order. Like, he told me that he got you to drop it. So when he told me that he got you to drop it, he was like, okay, so now I want to get her arrested for giving my chickens away. Like, what? So he's mad because whenever I got my temporary protective order, we had a trailer together. And I wanted to keep my trailer at first. I wanted to keep it. So in the order, I made it to where he had to move out. So whenever they served him the order and got him out the house, he left his chickens. I mean, he grabbed most of his clothes. He took everything that I bought, my food stamps. He took everything out the freezer. He took all the cases of cold drinks. Like, he was being dirty. He took mostly everything. So the only thing that was left for him in the trailer was the dining room table that he paid for. Me and him paid for the bed and the dresser. We both split that. His grandma gave us a little love seat. Well, 2 couches, actually. So he didn't pay for that. But he was really trying to get me arrested because he left his chickens. And in the protective order, it said that if he wanted to come get the rest of his things, all he had to do was call the sheriff department. And the sheriff department would call me. And they'll ask me if it's okay for him to come there. I'll say, yeah, you can get your shit and go. So why are you making it seem like I just withheld everything from you? I didn't. And even his mama and his grandma was telling him, like, you need to go get your stuff out that house and put it in a storage. So whenever you move again, you'll have furniture. But he refused to do it. So that's your fault. So I gave, after like 2 or 3 weeks, I was not going to keep caring for these chickens and ducks. It was too many. Like, it's nasty. Like, trying to clean the pen out. I was kind of scared of them. So I gave them away to a friend of the family. And he was so mad. Like, how are you mad at me because you did not come get your property? And first of all, it's not even your property anymore. It's community property. He left to throw that word at me. When I left him one time, because I wanted all my shoes and my perfumes and all that, he said it was community property and gave it away to his mama, or sold my Jordans. He pawned my Jordans. Now he changed it up and said he sold it at a fair. He took my gun, would not give my gun back, gave it to his cousin. He had it for over a year, claiming he was cleaning it. Like, a lot of stuff that I wanted, he was telling me it was community property. And so did the cops. They said it's a loss because you can't sue him for it. If you sue him, you go spend more money trying to sue him, and you go just, don't worry about it. So I just find it so funny that he was trying to get me arrested for some chickens. And the cops said, I told him I'm not going to do that because they clearly see that something is wrong with him, and he's just mad that I don't want him. Right. So that was the whole thing. So I talked to the cops, and he was telling me, like, this man is unhinged. Like, you need to get your butt down to the clerk of court's office before the 4th. So today is the 3rd. So he was like, you need to go before the 4th or before the protective order ends and reinstate it. So he was saying, because, I'll be doing everything in my power to protect my child from him, because he was also threatening me saying, one random day he's going to go to the daycare and try to get the baby. You can't. Protective order. My child is included. So, I'm tired of having to watch my back with him all the time. It's really, really sickening. But when I talked to that cop, I was like, okay, now I see that he lied about everything. Like, he claimed the whole Port Allen police was on his side and they had his back with whatever. He would tell me he got a crooked cop friend that will do whatever he wanted, because if he didn't, he got some tea basically on him that'll get him fired. So, it was a whole bunch of stuff. And then even whenever we first broke up, he ran to the clerk of court's office and talked to the judge and tried to get a head start and lie to her before I could, get my stuff in. So that's one thing that had me worried, but clearly it's not going to hold up. So after I got off of work, I rushed down to the police department. I gave them a statement and I was telling them like everything about him. I was like, y'all, he goes far, you know. He even thought that he had y'all in his back pocket because one of y'all, when he was trying to kill himself on the levee, one of y'all came up there and was talking to him, whatever. And he was like, yeah, we were there on the levee and we talked him down, but we knew it was for show. And then the cop was like, and he made a post about it on Facebook, you know, tagging Port Allen Police Department and talking about how he was in a crisis and how he was this and he was that. And he was like, he's craving your attention so bad that he's not realizing that he's making himself look mentally ill. So, you know, when it's time for court and stuff like that, he's going to look unstable, not you. Because he tried to kill himself on the levee. He's making it known on social media. He tagged us, so we saw it. You know, we just didn't respond. Like, he was telling me a whole bunch of stuff. And it just kind of opened my eyes because I'm like, wow. He is such a narcissist and he knows how to manipulate and control stuff so well. Like, he is so good at making things appear as what they're really not, you know, because even whenever I first had my baby was like 2 months old and he literally brought me and my son down to the clerk of court's office so the judge can meet him, I guess, to make it seem like they really were friends and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy, y'all. It's so crazy. But my mind has just been expanded because, you know, he's really not who he says he is. And he has no idea, okay? He has no idea what's coming because that's one thing about God. Like, you're sitting here, first of all, you're in my phone every day begging to get back with me, like begging, trying to see me every day. You're calling my phone day and night saying you love me, this and this and that. But you're literally trying to get me arrested also. Like, that's crazy. And then I just found out that he is trying to work in the jail in my hometown. And I think he thinks that'll be like a way for him to be somewhat protected because he's trying to work up to being a cop in my hometown. And he knows that all my family is down there. So he's kind of scared to go down there. But I guess he feels like if he's a cop down there, then he protected. Like, he can arrest my family. He can do this. He can antagonize people. So I found out that he got some girl to call up to the jail and basically play as my sister and had the girl down me, telling the assistant warden how abusive I am and how I'm just so mean and cruel to him. And that's why he was abusive and things to me. And I'm like, what? That is so crazy. But you're trying so hard to keep your name relevant for this job. But when it comes down to a drug test, you're not going to pass it. So why are you trying this hard? Y'all, it's just so much. And like, it has my mind going insane. I literally will not feel safe until he is behind bars. I literally will not, because everywhere I go, I'm looking over my shoulder, making sure he's not popping up because he is really unhinged. I can't stand him. And I'm waiting on an update from the police department. They did tell me they're going to call me whenever he is arrested, but I'm just hoping they don't call him and let him know he has a warrant out for his arrest, because that's where they'll mess up, because he will run, for one. And for two, he will try to lawyer up. So by the time he goes in, he'll be getting right out. And I don't want that. I need at least a good month or so to be at peace. I can't do this, y'all. I can't do it. So today is the 3rd. And I should have called out of work today to go to the courthouse. But I'm going to call out tomorrow and go down to the courthouse and try to reinstate my order, because I think it doesn't end until 11:59 p.m. on the 4th. And I'm going to try to reinstate it that morning to get it back, because he's really insane. Like, it's gotten to the point where you just don't know what he's going to do next. Like, I start my new job at Walmart. I literally started on the 30th. And he has already been calling my new job, just spreading misinformation about me. Like he called on that Friday, and I wasn't even there. He called and told them that I got fired from my old grocery store job because I was cursing out my managers and I threatened to shoot up the place, and that's why I got fired. And he just told the managers, I thought you would want to know that about her. So Saturday, he called again while I was there. I was actually on my lunch when he called. And he did all this because he was mad that I didn't want, like I told him, I'm done with you. So he was like, watch this, Facebook finna know about you and Walmart finna know. But I didn't think he was serious, but he actually called Walmart. So he called them again and he told them that I gave him AIDS. He told these people I gave him AIDS, and he know it's true because he just tested positive for it. Like, y'all, I don't have no goddamn AIDS. But the funny thing is, like, you're just so unhinged to where you're telling some random person that you now have AIDS. Like, what is your problem? Who does stuff like that? So he literally did that, and that was my final straw. Like, I'm trying to do better with my life, and you're calling my new job to tell them all this lies about me just because you're mad I don't want you back. And I'm so glad my job was understanding. Like, they were like, we wanted to talk to you because we know this is, it didn't sound right, basically. And I told them all about him. He's my ex. He's mad I don't want to get back with him. He told me he was going to call you guys. I have text message proof, but I didn't believe he was going to do it. I just need help, basically. I'm getting protected for the back. I just only was communicating with him because I needed help. Working around y'all's schedule. Y'all shift start at 5 a.m. Daycare don't open till 6:30. And they told me they will work with me with the daycare schedule so I don't have to deal with him. So in the midst of all this chaos, blessings are still happening because I'm only going to Walmart because it's close to my child's daycare and I don't have to drive an hour from daycare to my current job. Like, yes, this job that I have now pays more, so I'm taking a pay cut to go to Walmart. But in the end, I think it'll give me a lot more peace because I'm tired of being in his city, where he knows everybody and I'm tired of it. It's time for a new start. So I would definitely be keeping you guys updated on this crazy, crazy wild ride. If I find out something else from the police, I will definitely come back with another bonus episode. But until then, I'm about to go to work and I'm about to just try to ease my mind for these 8 hours because work is always a good release for me. I get to forget about all the madness outside this building and just focus on my job. And I love that. So I will see you guys on the next episode. If you like what you're hearing, please hit that follow button, subscribe, do whatever you got to do, and leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about all this because I really want to know. But all right, guys, see you next Monday.